Welcome! Hey, I saw that on the internet.
Yeah, it's good to be back.
Amen.
It's been a minute. I don't think the camera is going to be good enough to pick this up, and I haven't mentioned this to Randy since we've been in this room. There is a solid layer of dust on this TV stand from the. I don't know. Yeah, we haven't been in this space in a few months, so
It was probably like it was. Wasn't it the week after we went to Gatlinburg?
Oh yeah,
Brittany's graduation.
It seems like it's been a minute for sure. I don't know. I was gonna say, like, I looked and it was like the last one was posted 3 months ago, and that was not posted till like way after the other one.
Yeah,
so
I remember that. Like I had
the DV Cooper episode.
Yeah, I had like a ton of stuff keep happening where I could never finish the editing. That took me a while to get out.
We both got real busy for a while.
Yeah,
I'm not,
like
you know. That. I like to just blame everything on my girlfriend, so I will say it's because my girlfriend moved back into town, so that ate up all my time.
What's wrong with you, Brittany?
Yeah, out there. It's all her fault. She's gonna be excited that she got shouted out in the podcast.
Amen.
I'm probably gonna get some.
We'll probably shout her out again when you tell your story later. With
oh yeah. Well, yeah, that was the.
You just want to tell it now?
Yeah.
All
so
right,
over the weekend, I was I was playing Pokemon Go, and I think this counts. I know we're gonna get to the thing that we saw on the internet later in the show. But I think that this does count because Pokemon Go is on the internet. If you think about it, you got to be on the internet to play Pokemon Go.
It is one of the perfect mixes of the internet meets reality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's augmented reality.
That's
what they call it. So this was not my brightest, shiningest. Are you really on your phone?
I'm just going to pull up my notes for later.
You listening to audio as I'm talking and telling my story?
No. I'm just pulling up my...
I hear it going off.
I was on TikTok earlier.
and now.
No.
Earlier as in 30 seconds ago.
I'm pulling up my notes for the show. Anyway.
Well, I would be, an engaged co-host listening to my co-host's story. But that's just me. I wouldn't just be on my phone. Doing whatever.
All right, you were playing Pokemon Go.
Yes, I was. So over the weekend, I went to a park to play Pokemon Go, and I had something. I normally play with my girlfriend, but this was one. Like my girlfriend was out of town. I wanted to get a quest done to do it's like a special research I had to do a route. And routes in Pokemon Go, not everybody knows. It just says hey, start at this landmark and just follow this path for a certain amount of time, and you get rewards in the game, whatever, for just walking through. I think
only certain Pokemon are on those routes too.
Yeah,
right now it's the Growlithe, right?
I think there's something like that. No, the Growliths are everywhere, but there was
wasn't it the Hisuian?
The Hisuian. There was research tied to routes.
Oh,
but you can get them other. This is really engaging content for people that don't play Pokemon Go. The problem is the Pokemon Go part's ancillary to the story. So
that's a big word.
Basically, I like big words, man.
You're so smart.
I'm not getting through this story in a timely manner, but it is a thing, and this is something we should be aware of as podcasters, that they have found public speakers prefer to use shorter words because it's shorter, fewer words because it's easier for them, but audiences prefer bigger words, a little bit more, denser sentences because it's easier to listen to and absorb information rather than parsing through a bunch of junk.
Interesting.
A side tangent in the middle of a story like this. So I'm telling you advice on not doing the exact thing I'm doing right now.
Why use many words when few words do trick, though?
That is true. Anyway, so I'm walking. I go to the park. Pokemon Go tells me, follow this route. And it says, start at this landmark and start walking this way on the path. And it's in the middle of this path. So I park, first of all, there were a ton of cars parked for a soccer game. So I had to start in a different part of the park than I'm normally at. And I'm okay, I'm just going to do this route real quick and go home. So I get off. I get out of my car, I walk over to the trail, I start walking along the route in Pokemon Go, and as I keep going, I'm pretty alone. There's one guy that passed me earlier, I'm not seeing a whole lot of people. And then all of a sudden, about I don't know, quarter mile into this walk, there is a big group of people walking towards me. Like, big enough, they're taking up the whole sidewalk. And I think, oh, that's weird. They have, like, the two people in front had shirts on. I couldn't read. And I'm like, oh, I guess there's some, like, fitness group out and about doing whatever. So I'm like, okay, I don't really think about it. But then I keep walking, and very soon after, there's more people. And then after this, there's, like, a very steady stream of people. Like, the people don't stop after this. So I'm, like, thinking, okay, this is kind of weird. Like, everybody else is walking in the opposite direction of me, and all of a sudden there's a large crowd out of nowhere. Like, this is strange. I'm kind of annoyed because it's like they're all taking up the whole sidewalk. I'm like, what are these people doing?
The audacity.
Yeah, and it's just like, oh,
share
my
the
gosh.
road.
It's like, no, you know, not sidewalk, but like trail path.
Yeah.
And it's like a nice paved trail. And I'm like, I keep having to step off it. I'm like, oh my gosh, what is this? And there's these signs, and I don't think anything of them. And again, I'm walking the opposite way of traffic, so these signs are facing away from me towards the people. And I see a family stop and take a picture with one of these signs that I haven't looked at. And I'm like, that's kind of weird. And like, I have to like go around them and make sure to like not get in the way of their picture. And I'm like, that's kind of weird. So I keep walking, and it's like these people, like it's just a nonstop deluge of people coming the other way as I'm trying to play Pokemon Go. And I'm finally like, okay, I got to figure out what is this. So I walk up and I look at one of the signs, and I was walking the opposite direction of a children's memorial walk. It was a big walk for a bunch of people who had a child close to them die. And I'm like, just kind of like, I'm like, was I mean mugging anybody? I really hope not.
Why y'all like walking the other way?
Everybody's just hogging the sidewalk here. Turns out I'm just a monster. Like, I'm a terrible person.
Like, I'm walking in the other way in protest of these children.
I'm like, yeah, it's like, you would think they would have like signs around the park. Well, I guess they did. I guess I just didn't read them.
They had signs around the park.
They were on the route, but they were just in one direction. You think that I don't know. You think it'd be something.
Wrong
Also,
way.
I realized
Turn
after that,
around.
like, oh, it wasn't that crowded with cars because of a soccer game. Like, obviously, they have the capacity for a children's soccer game. What they didn't really have the capacity for was a memorial walk that I was actually interrupting. So I was a monster. I then, when I realized that, I like walked a little farther. I'm like, what do I do? And then I was like, okay, I need to extricate myself from the situation. And I walked over to the main road, and like the main road, not main road, but the park's main road instead of their trails, and walked back to my car along the road. And I didn't finish my route. I didn't get my rewards. So
Oof.
that's the real, I mean, that's rough, you know.
That's when you know you messed up. When you don't even finish your route in Pokemon.
Well, I'm sitting there, and I'm also like, I'm trying to, me and our friends communicate via video message, and I was trying to send one, and it was like, every time anybody was like kind of close to me, I was like, guys, hold on, sorry. Guys, I messed up. I need to.
Children walking by.
I kept trying to tell people what happened because I needed to get this off my chest immediately about what a monster I was. But yeah, that was my experience over the weekend. That's what I saw on the internet was my Pokemon Go app. So
that
was
is unfortunate.
But yeah, we've been off for a little while. We've just kind of been accumulating life experience, so we'd have more time to talk about it. Actually, what really happened is the initial batch of podcasts just made us too much money.
Too famous.
Like, it was just a problem, and we couldn't spend the money enough. The banks quit taking it because they said we had too much money. We couldn't bury it. We couldn't burn it. Like, nothing we could do would dispose of this money quickly enough that we wouldn't be dealing with more coming in. So we had to take a break to kind of let the cash flow even out.
Amen.
And now we decided this time around we're not going to make any money off the podcast.
That reminded me of two things. I didn't even tell you we were going to talk about this.
Oh, no. And shout out to the worship leader at our church who...
Derek!
He was the only one that like reached out to us. I didn't recognize the phone number when I got it, but I sent that text without knowing who it was, saying that exact line of why we haven't recorded in a while. But he was our biggest fan that reached out to us.
I told him we were recording today, and he instantly lit up. He was like, at first he was like,
"Can we dedicate an episode?" Can we
Yeah.
dedicate this episode?
This episode's for Derek.
Yep. Shout out, Derek. We appreciate
Um,
you. You're the reason we're back. We came back just for you.
I had this question. You might know the answer. So I'm going to ask you because I don't know the answer. Long story short, you can open like a quote unquote money market account, like a bank. It's just like basically a high interest savings account. Could you get a loan from a different bank for a large amount of money at a lower interest rate than the other bank will give you, and then just put that money in that account, let it accrue interest, and then just like bank the other interest? I thought of that the other day.
So
okay, so you
sure.
have Bank A. So say like Bank A is like U.S. Bank or something, and then Bank B is like Chase. Chase is offering like 5% on a money market account. So you go to U.S. Bank, take out a loan for like $1 million, put $1 million in that money market account, but it's at like a 2% interest rate to the 5% interest rate you're accruing. Is that legal? Can you do that?
Randy, don't make me do this. My brother's a financial advisor, and I don't like. I'm gonna be speaking. I'm gonna be kind of thinking. My understanding is that interest rates are like set.
Oh, they're like through the roof right now, aren't they?
No, but I'm pretty sure that like aren't interest rates like a set thing? Like if you take out a loan right now,
But wouldn't it vary though? Because like if you get a high, like if you take out a loan for like a high risk venture, isn't it a higher interest rate? Or am I dumb and that's not how that works?
I
I
don't know. I know. I'm pretty sure that like a small personal loan is going to have a higher interest. I don't think there's a bank account that would pay faster than a personal loan. Like,
oh, definitely not over a long term, but like I see like sometimes they have like promotional periods for the first 6 months get 5% back.
yeah, there's usually like you have to have it in that account for a period of time. Like you get 5% back, but you have to have it in that account for a period.
Right.
Of time
So couldn't you just do that period of time and then pay the amount back once it?
Can we call this? I don't know. I feel like an idiot not knowing.
Yeah,
I'm like, I don't know how money works, man. I
don't know.
I don't deal with that. I don't. I think it's wrong. Like, I don't think that there's an infinite money exploit in reality that you can just take advantage.
Did you ever see that thing where people were exploiting Twitch for money? So what they would do is so Twitch's bits, where you can like cheer at a streamer with like bits or whatever, translated to where you bought them from in terms of currency. So like you could go to like Venezuela or whatever, and 1 bit is equal to their 1 bit in their currency. Mm-hmm. So if you bought like 1 billion bits in Venezuelan money, that would have been like $10 in US money, but then converted that back to American money, but you still have the 1 billion bits, but you're giving it as dollars. You can give it to yourself on a different account. People were doing that for a hot minute. I think back in like 2016, 2018, something like that.
When did they find out that this?
I'm assuming when like too much money was like leaving and going.
Did they get to keep it?
I doubt it.
Excuse me. Jeez, Pete, I just burped into the microphone.
And
Cardinals. Oh, by the way, anybody that's I do want to make sure. Yeah, I also cracked that in the middle of you talking.
Yeah. Way to ruin my segment.
I don't know. I wasn't a big fan of that one. I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't really. I wasn't coming up with banter. You were. I don't know. You were just talking about money.
Yeah.
But no. and for those out there watching, I want to make sure I'm a good influence on people. This is Key Lime LaCroix. It's not Mountain Dew. So I don't drink soda. I drink sparkling.
Wow, you're so much better than all of us.
Mm-hmm. Well, you especially.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
I missed you.
Bradley over the summer came to my house after church one day, and you stole a bunch of bees from my yard.
That's true.
Honeybees. Why don't you tell people about your experience there?
Remind me, I'll send you the picture that you guys can see here now instead of me.
Wow,
of the hive. And if you like, at first you might be looking at this picture and you're like, that's just a picture of a bush. But if you zoom in, there are literally thousands of bees there. Yeah, it's more my dad and my brother's thing, but they do like some beekeeping. They have they keep some at a house. They keep some. We have a property where we keep bees mostly, and we have like, I don't know, 5 hives. I think thanks to you, we have like 5 hives. We were kind of done for the summer or for the spring. There's beekeeping's difficult. There's like a very narrow window of time that you can get beehives. It's like,
really?
Yeah, you can only set up a beehive in the spring because you need bees to have long enough time to be able to collect pollen.
Oh yeah.
That they can survive like the rest of the year. Like they'll keep collecting through summer, but they get very minimal amounts. So you set up hives early in spring. Everything starts to bloom. The bees go out, get pollen from all this stuff that's newly in bloom. That's when they make most of their honey. Is earlier in spring, and then as time goes on. This year was kind of bad in the area that we live in, just because spring. I don't know if you're like, it's not something I think most people were like noticing or keeping track of. But this spring we did not get a lot of rain.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Like, we had a very dry spring, and then in the summer it started raining more.
Patchy.
Right. So that was that makes it difficult because then things don't bloom as much. Bees don't get as much honey. We barely got to rob any. But
you rob the bees.
Yeah, so yeah, you hold them up. You put a shotgun up to
you put the smoker to their face. Like,
whoop, 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 whoop. Yeah, it's like stick them up, rob it. So yeah, but yeah, you do use a smoker so that you don't get bit. I wear like the whole face guard apparatus and gloves like up to my. I try to wear long sleeves, but like they're up to my elbow. These gloves, and I've not been stung doing it. I haven't done it as much as my brother, and he's been stung, but he also does it without gloves on. So,
man,
a little different story. He's a bit tougher than I am.
I would not.
I'm like kind of scared. I'm like, I don't know if I've become allergic to it since.
Yeah, but also like you drove around with them in the back of your car.
So sorry, this whole thing was leading into Randy calls me one day and he's like, "Hey, we have a swarm of bees in our yard," and I'm like, I have to ask my brother about this because, like, I didn't tell you this, but later in the year, my aunt called me with the same thing and was like, "Hey, we have some kind of bees, but they're in a hole in the ground," and we're like, "Oh, those are yellow jackets. We're not."
We ain't taking.
We're not gonna set up a box with yellow jackets, but yeah, you might need to call an exterminator on that. That's a different story. So, like, when you said you had bees, I'm like, I don't know enough about it. It could be, they might not be honeybees. They might be, something else entirely. So I tell my brother, and he's like, no, that's good. Those are going to be honeybees. So we run over, we find them in a bush in your guys' front yard, and we saw out the limb which if you can do it without sawing off a limb of a bush. So if it's like if it's private property and they like don't want you taking their bush apart or whatever, it's a lot harder because then you got to dig through and find the queen and get the queen into the box, and then all the other bees will swarm to the box. But
dude, bees are weird.
Yeah, so your thing was a lot easier because we could just cut the bees out of the branch. And then we explained to you guys what all happened. That like, hey, it's possible that you see more bees here, so keep an eye out because what happened is there's a hive in your area, a wild hive, it split. So like when hives become overpopulated with bees, they make a new queen, which they don't normally make queens just on the regular. They do it when they're ready to split. So they'll make a new queen, they'll send it out. The queen and her, like half the colony will go find a new hive, and they'll like go set up. Now the thing is, they don't find a place right away. They set up somewhere like a bush in a front yard till they find somewhere that's more favorable, and then go there. So they were just kind of in this, I can't remember what that stage is called, but this intermediate stage, and so we had to get over to your house quick. We cut out the branch. We threw the branch in a box. We waited for a few minutes so all the bees would fly into the box. We closed up the box, secured it so that none of the bees would get out, and then we threw them in my car where a bunch of the bees proceeded to get
out. Yeah, which was the...
I was like, when we first put it in, I was like, there's a bee in here. I'm like, it's fine if that stings me while I'm driving. I'm not super worried about a single bee. Whatever. But that bee was like a late straggler. The next like 7 bees that were in my car genuinely got out of the box. So I had a bunch of bees in my back windshield as I'm driving. And my brother, who again has done this a lot more than me, calls me. He's like, "Hey, brother, you got a lot of bees in your windshield." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm aware. My back windshield filled with bees." And then we got them there.
What I want to imagine is the other people driving by you
seeing
that in the back of your car, like just driving along and, bro, that guy's got like 7 bees in his back windshield. Like,
yeah,
that would freak me out.
I like to think somebody's like kind of daydreaming, like kind of zoned out or whatever, driving, and then they're like, "Wait a second, like, wait, I'm not just seeing that. There really are bees in the back." I don't know. I don't know if anybody else noticed, but my brother, because he knew it was my car and was specifically looking at it. But whatever. And also, I don't know if you've ever seen somebody put. Do you know how we got those bees into that beehive?
No.
So we took that box and we flipped it upside down and shook it.
Just aggressively shook it?
You smoke the bees.
Like, oh, okay.
You smoke the bees, but that only does so much. You're pouring bees into the hive, and then you're
liquid
getting
bee.
them. Yeah, and then it's actually funny because the bees, what they'll do next is they'll go out like all around the hive and in front of the hive and stuff, and they'll stick their little booties up in the air and start shaking them around and stuff. And what they're doing is they're signaling to the other bees like, "Hey, come back, come back to the hive. This is
all right."
Like, yeah, the queen is here. She is safe. We are good to chill. Like, that's what they do. But yeah, like one of the few jars of honey we gave to you guys as thanks, because that's kind of customary. If you give somebody gives you a hive, then you should probably give them some honey back. And
it's good honey.
Yeah,
it's real good honey.
Yeah, do you guys have any of it left?
Yeah, I've been using some for my tea. I've probably got about half food left.
Cool. Well, I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad it was a worthwhile exchange for you.
Yeah, I mean,
you got bees out of your yard and got honey for it. Yeah. We eliminated a pest for you.
Yeah, you did me a service and gave me honey.
Man. Hey, man, you got any termites? We'll take care of them. We'll give you a bottle of bourbon.
I mean, take it. Freeloaders. Termites.
I got to get some termites.
I got a new puppy.
Yeah?
Since the last episode.
Is that why your pits are sweating so much?
Gosh, I hate you. I mean, I have been chasing that darn terrorist around the backyard specifically.
Do you want to do that?
No, I don't. I'm going to keep that.
I'm
going to keep that. Anyway, my new puppy. He's real cute. I'll have some pictures. Your face right now.
This is the commitment.
Oh man.
No. That was too funny. You gotta keep it.
Yep, I'm keeping it.
I'm not laughing at the pits sweat. I'm laughing at you're like, no, it's staying. I know. Like, too good.
Stayed in. Anyway, we call him a little terrorist because man, he is a little terror. Let me tell you. The crime rate in this household has gone up like 4,000%. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's mostly piracy, right?
Yeah,
Like
piracy.
Online piracy of movies kind of thing.
Larceny, arson.
Every crime. Like,
Every crime.
every crime has risen.
Grand Theft Auto. So much has been going around.
You don't understand how high the crime rate was in this house before. Now we got this dog, man, and it's just like, oh,
Oh, man.
yeah. No, your dog's precious.
He's so cute. But he's a terrorist.
Yeah, he doesn't. I will say I have found one negative thing about Willie, and it's a pretty big drawback, and that is I don't think he would look as good in the hot dog costume.
Yeah, he'd be like a burnt hot dog.
Yeah,
he's black.
Yeah, he's got like a
Black
little
and brown.
bit of brown underneath, but
Yeah.
mostly black.
Richard is the better hot dog.
Yeah.
Hot takes.
Well, also
Hot dogs.
the constant look of panic on Richard's face is what kind of endears him.
That kind of helped. He's like,
Yeah, it's like, I do, because we recorded that initial batch of hot takes with hot dogs a few months.
Yeah, we got to do more.
We got to do more. That was a few months ago that we did that, but when we did that, it was great to see Randy in the suit and Richard looking incredibly panicked and us putting a stupid TikTok voice over it. Like,
but it's great.
yeah, it was there. It's one of my favorite things. If you haven't seen that, if you haven't, hey, I saw that on the internet yet, you need to go, hey, I saw that on the internet.
For hot takes, hot dogs. Just
Yeah,
check
really
out our
good.
YouTube shorts or our TikTok page.
Yep.
It's good stuff. Let's see. What else has happened since our little hiatus? We've been playing more Magic the Gathering Commander.
Yeah, I want to talk
Format.
about Magic the Gathering because I am really excited
Right
about
now?
one thing. I want to say one quick thing about
Okay.
it because right now, as we speak, they're releasing cards that are based on
Doctor Who?
Doctor Who. They're like putting out like, hey, these are the cards for that set. And so they're based on this TV show of Doctor Who. It's been running since
Forever.
I think the 60s it was the 60s because the debut was the same day as the JFK assassination.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
didn't
it's
know
like a
that.
weird coincidence
Winky
thing.
dink?
Yeah. So the Doctor Who's been airing since the 60s. It has all these characters. It's had some celebrity characters. So I'm really excited because the way Magic the Gathering's been going, they just did a Lord of the Rings set before this. So I get to have a deck that's built around Merry and Pippin from Lord of the Rings, and I'm going to put a card that is based on real-life actress and pop star Kylie Minogue in that deck. It's like, if you look at the art, it's a picture of Kylie Minogue that's going to go in a Lord of the Rings Commander deck. And I'm just so excited because she was in the episode where they go on a space Titanic in the future.
Huh.
And she's like set up as like, oh, is she going to be the Doctor's new companion, like traveling person?
For our audience who uncultured, who is this Kylie?
Are you asking because you don't know who Kylie
I'm
Minogue is?
I'm asking for a friend.
So I don't know her super well. I'm not super familiar with the body of work, but she's like a very famous pop star from the 90s.
Oh, okay.
I think she was bigger in Britain than she was here, but she was a big pop star, big actress in the 90s, and very well-known name that you should have just played it cool and acted like, yeah, Kylie Minogue.
I want our audience to be just as informed as I am.
There was I did see a tweet earlier today, I think, that was like, yeah, like it was like two people. It was like two very minor celebrities, and it was like, yeah, these people are now dating, and he's like, you guys are making up celebrities at this point. I know this isn't real.
You're just making up people for me to try to care about at this point.
Yeah. So.
You know what I have really been enjoying on Twitter?
What's that?
That terrible maps account.
Oh no! Save it. We'll do that at the end for the social media page.
Again? We already did it.
Did we already did it?
Yeah.
Oh no!
Yeah, we already did it once, but that has been one of my favorite accounts now. Of like, they're so terrible, they're good.
Yeah, I look at them like every about like once a month, I'll be like, oh, what's that terrible math page up to, and scroll through and get a few laughs out of it. It's great. Yeah, that's been fun. Hopefully, you guys have been enjoying the social media pages of the week. They're pretty incredible.
I guess we'll just recommend that one again at the end here because we definitely forgot to get one.
Yeah, I might. Well, I might. Let's give me like 5 minutes at the end to peruse.
Okay.
Oh, we'll see.
Right.
But, I think is that really all we're gonna say of what we've been up to? Me walking the wrong way at a children's right? You bringing up a money management, a money market. And it's like, and me blaming my girlfriend for.
I feel like I had something else.
Shouting out our worship pastor.
I feel like I had something else about like a money hack like that.
There is one. Somebody's like said like, hey, wouldn't you know all those like betting apps that'll be like, hey, you can.
Like put $20 in and
it's like your first bet is like the first $1,000 bet or something on them. So it's like if you can open 2 accounts, or like not $1,000, like $100 bet. So you can open like 2 accounts, bet $100 here on one team to win, and bet $100 here on the other team to win.
Oh, and if it's on them, you get the money either way.
Yes.
Is that how? I thought sports betting was like weirdly specific things of like this quarterback will throw over or under 12
there
touchdowns.
are, but you can just bet like this. I think you can bet this team wins. I think that's possible.
Sports betting.
I mean, like it doesn't. Well, okay, it doesn't matter. You could do any even money bet, and just say like take both sides of the bet. Like it doesn't matter what the bet is. You just take both sides of it and get that one of those $100 out. I mean.
I will gladly.
You can only do it once because I
Vegas
think
is money.
Regulate that. Yeah. Well, there was like that documentary years ago that was like these Christian guys would go. It was on Netflix. These Christian guys, they were like part of a church, and they would go to.
Was it the poker people?
Yeah, they'd go to no, not poker. It was they'd go to casinos and they'd count cards on blackjack.
Blackjack, yeah. I think I watched a couple of YouTube videos on a rabbit hole about guys like that way back in the day.
It's like they got banned, and it's like you see them and they're like, man, I hate casinos, and it's like they had like cigar humidors in the background and stuff, and it's like, good for you, man. Like it's whatever.
I feel like that'd be a very volatile, like if you
gambling professionally, yeah. I imagine that's kind of the point, Randy.
Because I think there's like, if you even if you play perfect, of like you count the cards like, oh, I have like 90% odds to win here or whatever, like you're still gonna lose some of those.
It's not 90%. It's not that high.
Well, if you you're counting the deck or whatever, or the stack of decks they have. Mm-hmm. But even then, like you can win over time, but I think the rules have to be really specific, right? Like it has to pay out. It's like 3-2 or something. I don't exactly know the terminology, but I remember
that makes sense.
One of the videos I watched was like, you can't play at every table. It has to be something about like a soft 16, something about that, and it has to pay out so well.
Last time I went to Vegas, or not last time, time before I haven't been to Vegas in a while, but like $5 blackjack, it's a lot of fun because you can just sit there and play and $5 bets. They're not that big of bets, but then like
I'd be out of money in like 10 minutes.
Well, I just feel like nowadays, like they're raising all the tables to like $20, but
inflation's getting us all.
I mean, it's just really coming for a blackjack. When they raised the price of money, did they not think of casinos?
I can just win more money now, and it means less.
Yeah, exactly.
I
guess they lowered the price of money. Really? That's neat. You should go.
I want to go see the Globe.
I saw that and I'm like, that looks so cool.
That
I would love to check
bonkers.
that out. I also wanted to check out Omega Mart. Do you know about Omega Mart? This is actually an interesting topic to talk about. It's not like a long.
What is it?
So it's a grocery store.
Okay.
What if that was
I know a couple exciting grocery stores, so I'm not fazed by this.
This is just a regular. No, it's so it's a I think it's in I think they call it an augmented reality experience because
In a
it's
grocery store?
Yeah, so it's the way it works is like there's like stuff around this store that's like explaining the lore of what this store is, and it's pretty much like, and the concept I think is something like if aliens tried to replicate a human convenience store.
That's an odd concept.
So if you like when you go around, none of the brands are actual brands. Like they're all like
Kraft mac and cheese would be like
it was Lorp's mac and cheese or something. Like it was like
okay.
all very like alien sounding stuff, but it's like they get like the stuff they sell is like I think it's kind of more wild. Like I think they have like I think they might have like blue milk or like maybe a call. They have stuff that might be just Star Wars, but
yeah, blue milk from the.
I don't know. I know their product line's wild. I didn't like research it, but it's a neat thing to do out in Vegas. It's worth doing. From what I've heard, I haven't gotten to do it yet, but yeah. I don't know. I don't know anything else new to catch you all up on from life.
Trying to think. You went to Disney.
No, I didn't. Oh well, I went to the Disney resorts, which.
Oh, you went to Disney.
Yeah, I went to the resorts. I'm going in.
Later
you're
going to Disney. Yeah.
But I went to the Disney resorts because my girlfriend and I really liked the resorts. We were both really into it, both of us, 100%. Yeah, no, the resorts were fun. They were cool. I did enjoy them. But we did that, and we did. I did do Universal for the first time. That was fun. I was gonna say I don't think
I love roller coasters. You don't care for them
we had
much,
like
right?
3 breakdown while we were on them.
Oh.
Like so, Hagrid's broke down when we were like at the end of it. So like there was like there was like the last what is like a line of coasters like the
cart.
What's a group of coasters? A group of carts. Because like they'll do like 6 of them at a time or whatever.
Yeah. I think it's
train.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Train.
Group of carts, train, whatever. That was on the track, and we are like accelerating at them, and we are like going really fast. And I'm like, there's still a train on this track. There's like they haven't gotten off. They're supposed to be off by now, I think. And we stop like right before them, and it's like after us is the part with like the unicorn, and so we're just sitting there, and then like that train in front of us finally like rolls up and rolls out, but we're just sitting there on the track where our car had just barely stopped, and we're just sitting there waiting, and the ride's not moving, nothing's happening. We hear like other segments of the roller coaster behind us still going.
Oh man.
And I'm just sitting here like
they're gonna hit us in the back.
We're gonna get rear-ended, and we are strapped in. We might this might really be bad. So I'm like yelling like, hey, can anybody hear? And it's like people in the car are laughing, and I'm like, guys, like I'm pretty terrified right now.
Everyone else is rookie. Yeah. We've broken down here before.
Yeah, apparently everybody's broken down. It was Hagrid's motorbike adventure, which apparently notorious for it.
Yeah, so. that ride is notorious for breaking down, but it is so cool.
It was neat, and it's not. I have a fear of heights, so that's why I'm not a big roller coaster guy. But it doesn't go very high.
Did you ride the Velocicoaster?
Dude, I looked at it and I was like, no, I'm good.
That is such a good ride.
Yeah,
it's crazy, bro.
I can't do them, man.
It goes over the lake in the middle.
Yeah, it's so high.
It's so
cool. Is so high. I can't do heights. That's the thing, man. I can't do heights.
Man, you're missing out. Next time we go is a group fam.
I want to build up the courage. I do want to do it, but it's just like it's hard to make myself like. I was planning to do it that day, but
some of those video rides though, they'll make you a little tipsy.
The King Kong one broke down on us, so
I've only
we broke down
on
that one and just sat there a minute, and then like we were in what was apparently the last room, and I'm like, oh, we must have missed most of the ride because like the story won't make sense of it. Turns out I just don't think the story makes sense because we watched the rest of it. We're like, this isn't like anything, but that King Kong animatronic at the end was kind of cool.
Yeah.
But and E.T. was the other one that broke down while we were on it.
Oh.
No, that one broke down while we were in line. We rode it and then got back in line immediately, and it broke down while we were in line to ride it. And then Popeye also broke down, the was like a water ride, broke down while we were in line.
I don't think I've ever done that one. I usually skip the water rides.
It was really hot the day we were there, so we needed to cool off.
Yeah, I don't like to be wet.
Yeah, no, that's the right call.
Walk around.
We were sopping wet when we were on King Kong, and like Brittany was like looking at the person next to us, like, I am so sorry. Like, she is just,
It's like
dripping wet, like we were just soaked to the bone. It was great, but no, I think that's, I had a couple trips to Florida, went to Michigan, hung out. I did a lot of beach.
Oh, yeah, I went to Michigan too.
Yeah, I feel like Ken, where I'm like, my job is beach. Like
my job,
yeah,
beach.
Yeah, so no, that's mostly what I've been up to is just trips to the beach, living a perfect life. I'm happier than you all. This is
Got 'em.
As being on social media. I want that clear. My life has no problems. Any problems are just the you thing, and nobody shares that. So keep that in mind.
Classic internet comparison.
Right. Yeah. Just know all of these highlights that I'm sharing in my life, that's just what my life's like all the time.
All the time.
Yeah. And if yours isn't, then it's a worse life than mine. No, I'm kidding. That's why I don't go on Facebook, is because I'm just like, oh, like,
why would I look at everyone else's highlight reel?
Yeah.
And make myself sad.
Right. Yes. Keep that in mind, other folks. Like, I know Randy and I may seem like we have it all together.
Oh, it's just obviously, because we have a podcast, our life is.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what I was going to tell you about. Well, I was thinking about those other things. Have you ever heard of CoffeeZilla? He does like a.
No, I've heard the name, but
he does like a YouTube journalism, but for like a lot of crypto scams.
So he's
and
our
scams.
peer.
Yeah. He's our competition.
We're pretty much okay. No, I think I saw his video on crypto. It was like a 2-hour long thing.
He does a couple long ones. Yeah.
Yeah. Not crypto. NFTs. Sorry.
Yeah. NFTs.
Yeah.
He did like Logan. I think it was one of the Pauls. One of the Pauls.
Yeah.
On like their cryptos.
Oh yeah, I think it was Logan Paul. So.
Yeah.
Excellent wrestler, by the way. If you haven't watched it,
I haven't.
I'm not kidding you.
That was boxing.
Jake Paul does boxing more than Logan Paul. Logan Paul, I think he's done some, but he's like he comes in like for the big shows of WWE now, and he's actually pretty good. Like he does it pretty well. Okay.
Anyway, CoffeeZilla did an episode on this company that was.
Hold on. Do you think that squeaky toy that is going
I hope so.
incessantly is getting picked up? Right
I
now?
hope it is.
Oh my gosh! Like
My
I don't
dog
know.
loves that squeaky donut he has upstairs.
Yeah, I don't know how quickly. Like I couldn't compress a squeaky toy as fast as that.
Oh yeah, he's like.
Okay, anyway, sorry. Go ahead. CoffeeZilla.
Yes, he did an episode about this company that was trying to be the middleman between podcasters and advertisers.
Mm-hmm.
So,
there's a couple of those, isn't there?
Yeah. So this guy was promoting like the biggest returns for the podcasters. So like a bunch of people signed on with him, but then he never paid them out, even though the ads went through, kind of thing. So the guy took the money
if you want
from
to take that earlier to clean that up, because that probably isn't.
So the guy took the money as the middleman, never paid the podcasters, took that money, opened a different business, like funneled all the money to that business, and then bought a bunch of real estate, trying to like hide his money trail. And then he's like, hey, here's the guy, here's his name. He stole this money, but no one's doing anything. It's kind of interesting.
Wait, is he still just out there?
Yeah, I mean, everyone knows where he is. Well, that worked with him, and it's like, here's his house, and here's the money he stole. Here's the receipts, and he's like, well,
yeah.
All right.
I mean,
he stole a couple $1 million, but it was business, so no one cares.
Well, I mean, it's weird because, like, in the grand scheme of things, in so many ways, we're still in early stage internet, where it's like this is something that is radically revolutionary in how we interact with it on a day-to-day basis, and all the things we saw on it, and that really changes things. And when you look at something and you're like, hey, I saw that on the internet.
I think we're even in like a point of like video being the main like
Mm-hmm.
shared social media thing.
Yeah, TikTok is like really put that forward because
Yeah,
it's a
and
lot.
like there was Vine back in the day, but like where I grew up, like I feel like only the rich kids had Vine
Mm-hmm.
because like one, you had to have a device that could be on Vine, and like not everyone did,
Yeah.
and then you had to have like a data plan you could watch Vine on.
Right. Yeah. And it was just not like it wasn't until I was in college. I didn't have a smartphone until college. Like that's and it's now it's like there, which was last year, granted, but I still like I'm a young guy. I can hang. No, but like I didn't have a smartphone until college. It's like it's so new on just being able to record something and like save it from wherever. Like that's like a last 10 years thing that's become like people had them, but like everybody has them now. You know what I mean?
Just about everyone. Yeah. Like,
That's like the thing that's radically shifted in so many ways. But like the reason I brought up like I still feel like we're in the early days of the internet is because like Bitcoin, I feel like was trying to solve a problem that just didn't exist. Like it just felt like, hey, what are we going to use for money on the internet? And it's like money. We have credit cards. This was something that like has been solved. There's a solution to, and it's like, all the defenses I've heard of it are like, no, it's a better way. And I'm like, but it's like the better way is the thing that like literally everybody on earth already has adopted.
Yeah,
like,
and then that became like an issue with like being kind of untrackable, but is also kind of trackable. But it's just you can't tie it quite to who's going to unless you know.
Yeah,
like
it started out as a way to buy drugs on the dark web. Yeah, for sure. No, have you ever seen that? It was like a prize payout for like a StarCraft 2 tournament where it was
fourth place.
It was first place was like first place $500, second place $250, third place $100, fourth through eighth place 250 Bitcoin.
Hope you have a wallet and know where to send this.
Literally,
in 15 years, you're gonna be real mad at yourself.
Like $250,000. Like it's so that was it's just why like there's so much stuff like that where it's like music we just like streaming's now the thing and it's just like
I remember when it took me like overnight to download an album at my house, and now it's like
I remember like burning CDs to my computer because that's how you got music on your computer. Like it's just like crazy where it is, and I'm like. I'm not exactly a techno optimist. Like there are people that are like, oh, this is going to keep improving forever. Where I'm kind of like, the technology, like the core of it hasn't changed that much in the past few years. It's like how we interact with it is what's changing. How prevalent it is what's changing. But like, you're not seeing at the top end. Like you'll see like definite advances in technology, but there's nothing that's like going to revolutionize communication on that scale again. Like that's happened and now we have to like figure out how to live with that and how that's gonna
I feel like we've definitely hit kind of like a wall,
a point of diminishing returns.
I feel like there has to be some like new thing that comes out that like
so like the thing is like computation time is going down. Like computers are getting stronger. There was what is that point that they thought we'd hit?
Like a event horizon.
It was let me look this up. There's actually let's pause for 1 second because
all right, I'll just keep rolling, but we'll pause.
Okay, Moore's law. Sorry, we're back. Moore's law is it states the number of transistors on a microchip doubles every 2 years, and like the idea was there's going to be like a limit. Is that it's like an exponential? It's like eventually that's got to slow down, and we like keep thinking we're about to hit some kind of limit, we're about to hit some kind of wall on the development of computation time, but we keep not, and that's kind of why AI is kind of taken off, is because computing has become so much cheaper that we can sit there and just feed algorithms a whole bunch of stuff and train them in the first place to do what they do. And that's just not something we had the capability of before. So in that way, I guess AI would be the next major change. But I honestly am not that worried about AI figuring more stuff out.
I feel like I'm more worried about like it's scamming people at this point. So me and the wife, Julie, we watch a lot of TikTok before we go to bed with each other. We've seen like advertisements of people faking to be like Mr. Beast or Elon Musk.
that happens.
That is running rampant.
Yeah,
It's like this is a problem.
yeah, that's definitely a thing where like there are those kind of issues that are out. Like there's a lot of fraud and stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't think that's I don't think that's necessarily an AI problem as much as it is like the platform. Like TikTok needs to take ownership of what ads it's letting through.
Yeah,
and
like someone needs to
YouTube
approve it or something.
Well, and it's like I understand you can't like pick every. Like I know YouTube got like there's there are reasonable extents. I don't know. Like YouTube has gotten in trouble in the past because they put like Coca-Cola ads in front of terrorism videos and stuff that they because they didn't know they had them on. Sorry.
Like they didn't know the terrorist videos were on the website.
Yeah, it's not like they can monitor every piece of content.
Yeah.
But they should be doing a better job of controlling the ads that are put in front of their content. Like it's understandable. You're not going to be able to monitor every YouTube video on your platform. You got to tackle that as you find it. But like the ads that are coming through.
Yeah, there's more videos on YouTube than you can ever watch in your lifetime.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like probably like there's like I think I heard at one point there's like 7 seconds of video uploaded to YouTube for every 1 second
of reality,
which seems low at this point.
Yeah, I imagine that's gotten. Well, I mean, like just think about how many people are recording a video right now, and it's a weird time to be alive, but but you know what that means, Randy?
What?
That means that for as long as time goes on, there will always be something new
to watch
for us to look at and say, hey, I saw that on the internet.
Wow.
Whoa! Name of the thing in the thing. Well, thank you guys for watching. We appreciate it. You can see another video right here.
Social media page of the week.
Hey, Randy, can we talk about one thing real quick, actually?
Oh, what?
We haven't been on for 4 months. And you haven't taken 2 hours to make a better logo for this show.
No.
Literal text against a blue field with a box around it that says, hey, I saw that on the internet.
I mean, I think it's simple and like...
It's something. Anyway, now the video should be appearing here. You guys can click on that, click on whatever, social media page of the week.
Rabbits every hour. Or a rabbit every hour. It's a Twitter page.
Just
there's rabbits every hour. Yeah. It's great. I like it.
But what is the Twitter handle? We should probably get that right before.
Okay, hold on.
Just shouting out, hey, go randomly searching for things.
Rabbit every hour.
Rabbit every hour. All right, well, that's it, folks. Listen to me crush this can into the microphone.
ASMR.
That didn't do anything.